In the city of 11 million people, a single suitcase sat alone in a garbage bin. Inside, the body of a young woman, a rising DJ, a daughter, a dreamer, cut down in the middle of her story. But this isn't just a case of a party gone wrong. This is a story of obsession, betrayal, and a desperate cry for help that no one answered in time. Valentina's life was on the rise. She was young, magnetic, a rising star in Colombia's dance music scene. She opened for global DJs, worked on her first album, and performed at packed nightclubs, making enough to support her family and build her name. She wasn't just chasing fame, she was making it happen. In April 2022, she met John Poulos, a 35-year-old American financial advisor from Wisconsin. They connected on Tinder, and before they'd even met in person, Poulos invited her on vacation. Over the next 10 months, he flew to Colombia repeatedly. Soon, they were posting couples photos, smiling at beaches, posing at ruins, living what looked like a romantic whirlwind relationship. Poulos even boasted on Twitter, invited a Colombian woman on vacation without meeting her first. Now we're getting married. But while Valentina and John posted photos of themselves having fun, enjoying the beach and nights out, Poulos' jealousy quietly grew. He monitored her social media, he grew suspicious of her friendships, and even hired a private investigator to follow her to Aruba. To Valentina's family, he seemed a little intense, but also appeared to love her, maybe too much. What they couldn't see was how tightly he was beginning to control her world. Friday, January 20th, 2023. Valentina performed at a Bogota nightclub, one of her regular sets, another night doing what she loved. The next evening, she video called her brother. She was smiling, laughing, happy. It was the last time her family would see her alive. It was 3 a.m. Sunday. As the neon lights flickered off, the last beats from the clubs faded into the alleyways, and the streets thinning to a hush, she and Poulos ducked into a cab. Valentina slipped in first, pulling the door closed behind her, and in a quiet, desperate moment, she showed the driver her phone. On the screen were the words, "Help, I'm in danger." The driver, startled, asked if she was okay, but by then Poulos had entered the car, and Valentina fell silent. They continued on. Back at the Airbnb, things turned violent. Poulos, consumed by jealousy and rage, beat Valentina with his fists and strangled her with his hands. Hours later, he was captured on surveillance footage dragging a large blue suitcase out of the apartment, Valentina's body hidden inside. He loaded the suitcase with Valentina's body into the rented Volkswagen and drove south through the city and dumped the suitcase in a trash bin. He left her there, zipped up and abandoned. When police were discovering the suitcase, Poulos was already on the move. On January 22nd, he boarded a flight from Bogota to Panama. His plan was calculated. Fly to Istanbul, then to Montenegro, a country with no extradition treaty to Colombia. To confuse investigators, he even purchased a separate ticket to Sao Paulo, but authorities were already closing in. On January 24th, Panamanian immigration officers arrested Poulos at Tocumen International Airport just moments before he could board his flight. In his bags were multiple phones and SIM cards, tools for somebody trying to vanish. First, he blamed the Medellin cartel. Then he denied everything. But by then, the evidence had caught up. Surveillance footage, travel records, physical evidence. Extradited back to Colombia, Poulos was charged with aggravated femicide and concealment of evidence. Prosecutors are pushing for a sentence of over 35 years, and his defense team is negotiating a plea deal. But no plea will undo what has been done. For Valentina's family, the grief is immeasurable. Her mother described her as a daughter who dreamed big, who was building something special not just for herself, but for her family. She was their star. Her murder ignited a national outrage in Colombia, a country already grappling with rising rates of femicide. Protesters marched in the streets, demanded justice not just for Valentina, but for all women whose lives are stolen by violence. Since her death, the now infamous tweet John posted invited a Colombian woman on vacation without meeting her first, "Now we're getting married," lingers online like a haunting digital ghost of the tragedy. Today, it carries a chilling community note. The user who posted this tweet is now charged with murdering the woman in question. At the heart of this all remains one message, sent in a flash of desperation, a last attempt to break free. "Help, I'm in danger." This time, no one answered, but next time, the world has to listen. If you found this story compelling, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. This has been a Rewind the Crime production, and just like every case, let's play it back. Let's rewind the crime.